Have you ever looked up at the night sky? You see a vast, dark canvas. It is sprinkled with tiny points of light. Some of these lights are planets, others are stars. They seem so close, like you could almost reach out and touch them. But the truth is, the distances in space are immense. They are bigger than anything we can easily imagine here on Earth. This vastness is not just empty space. It is a fundamental part of what the universe is. Understanding these distances is the first step in understanding our place in the cosmos. It helps us see just how special our own world is. Our journey begins right here, on our home planet, Earth. From our perspective, the universe unfolds in every direction. We see the moon, our constant companion, changing its shape in the sky. We feel the warmth of the sun, the star that gives us life. These celestial bodies feel familiar. They are part of our daily experience. They govern our tides. They govern our seasons. They govern our very existence. Yet the actual distances that separate us from them are staggering. They are numbers so large that they challenge our everyday intuition about space and separation. These distances are the invisible threads connecting our world to the rest of the solar system. Think about the longest journey you have ever taken. Maybe it was a long flight across an ocean, or perhaps a road trip that spanned several days, crossing states, crossing countries. Those distances felt huge at the time. You traveled for hours, even days to reach your destination. Now, imagine a journey that takes not days but months, or even years. Imagine traveling so far that your home, the entire planet Earth, shrinks to a tiny blue dot. This is the scale we are talking about when we discuss space. The distances are so great that they require a new way of thinking, a new kind of map for our minds. In this exploration, we will embark on such a journey. We will not use a car or a plane. We will use our imagination, guided by the laws of physics and the discoveries of astronomy. We will travel from our front door to the moon, then venture out to the sun. We will visit our planetary neighbors like Mars, and then push onward to the giants of our solar system, Jupiter, Saturn. Finally, we will leap into the void that separates us from the nearest stars. This is a story about distance, about scale, and about the incredible human desire to measure and understand the universe we live in. How do we even begin to measure something we cannot touch? You cannot take a ruler or a measuring tape to the moon. You certainly cannot stretch one all the way to the sun. For centuries, this was one of the greatest challenges for astronomers. They could observe the planets. They could observe the stars. They could track their movements across the sky with incredible precision. But figuring out how far away they actually were seemed almost impossible. It was a puzzle locked behind a door of unimaginable scale. The key to unlocking it was not a physical tool, but the power of mathematics and clever observation. The ancient Greeks were among the first to try. Old astronomical illustrations showing geometric calculations of the Earth-Moon distance. They used geometry, the same math we learn in school, to make their estimates. By observing the shadow of the Earth on the moon during a lunar eclipse, they made a remarkably good guess at the moon's distance. It was not perfect, but it was a start. It showed that with logic and careful measurement, we could begin to map our cosmic neighborhood. This was a revolutionary idea. It meant the heavens were not some unknowable divine realm. They were a physical place that could be measured and understood through science. This process of discovery continued for hundreds of years. Each new generation of astronomers built upon the work of those who came before them. They developed better telescopes. They found new techniques like parallax, which uses the Earth's own orbit as a baseline to measure the angles to distant stars. It is like holding your finger out and closing one eye, then the other. Your finger seems to jump against the background. By measuring that jump, you can calculate the distance. Astronomers do the same thing, but their eyes are the Earth's position in space 6 months apart. Today we have even more advanced tools. We can bounce laser beams off reflectors left on the moon by the Apollo astronauts. We can send radio signals to spacecraft orbiting other planets and measure the time it takes for the signal to return. These methods give us incredibly precise measurements. They have turned the vast, mysterious distances of space into known quantities. We have transformed the cosmos from an unknowable expanse into a mapped territory. This map allows us to plan missions, send probes, and continue our exploration of the worlds beyond our own. Let us begin our cosmic journey with our nearest celestial neighbor, the moon. It is the most prominent object in our night sky, a familiar sight to everyone on Earth. We have watched it for all of human history, charting its phases from a sliver of a crescent to a brilliant, full disk. It has inspired poets, guided sailors, and marked the passing of time for countless cultures. The moon feels close, like a part of our world. It exerts a real physical pull on our planet, creating the ocean tides that rise and fall with dependable rhythm. This constant presence makes it easy to forget that it is a world in its own right, separated from us by a vast expanse of empty space. The moon is our celestial anchor, the only other world that humanity has ever set foot upon. When we look up, we are not just seeing a distant light, we are seeing a destination. It's a place with mountains taller than any on Earth and vast, ancient plains of solidified lava. It is a silent, airless world preserved in time, holding clues to the early history of our solar system. The distance to the moon is the first and most fundamental measure of our ability to leave our home planet. It is the first step on a staircase that leads to the stars. Before we can dream of Mars or beyond, we must first understand the journey to our closest companion. On a clear night, the moon can seem so close that you feel you could almost reach out and touch it. Its features, the dark seas and the bright highlands, are visible even to the naked eye. This perceived closeness is a trick of the mind, a result of its sheer size in our sky compared to the distant stars. But this illusion shatters when we start to talk about the actual numbers. The distance is not something you can cover in a car or even a commercial jet in a reasonable amount of time. It is a void so large that it represents a profound barrier, a challenge that took the collective will of a nation and incredible technological innovation to overcome. So, how far away is it really? The average distance from the center of the Earth to the center of the moon is about 384.400 kilometers. That is roughly 238.855 miles. This number might not sound enormous at first, but let's put it in perspective. You could fit all the other planets in our solar system: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, in the space between the Earth and the moon with some room to spare. That single fact begins to paint a picture of the true emptiness of space, even in our own cosmic backyard. Our nearest neighbor is not just across the street, it is across a vast, empty stadium of space. Now let's turn our attention to the true center of our cosmic neighborhood. It is the powerhouse of the solar system, the star that makes life on Earth possible, the sun. Every morning it rises, bathing our world in light and warmth. It drives our weather, fuels photosynthesis in plants, provides the energy for almost every ecosystem on the planet. From our perspective, it seems to be in our sky. But the sun is not in our sky. We are in its sky. Earth and all the other planets are captured in the sun's immense gravitational field, endlessly circling this colossal ball of fiery gas. It is the anchor around which our entire world revolves. The sun's importance cannot be overstated. It is the source of our days, our years, and our seasons. Without its steady output of energy, Earth would be a frozen, lifeless rock. The connection we feel to the sun is primal and direct. We feel its heat on our skin. We see the world illuminated by its light. This daily intimacy belies the true nature of our relationship. We are not its close companion. We are a distant satellite, clinging to a habitable zone defined by our distance from this star. Understanding that distance is key to understanding the conditions that allow us to exist. You could fit more than 1 million Earths inside it. It contains over 99.8% of the mass in our solar system. The rest, planets, moons, asteroids, comets, is just a tiny fraction. That mass gives the sun its gravitational dominance. It is a king on a celestial throne, and the planets are its loyal courtiers in precise orbit. The distance to this stellar monarch is the most fundamental measurement in our solar system. It defines the size of our home. So how far away is this life-giving star? Earth's orbit is a slight ellipse, so the distance varies. At our closest, about 147 million kilometers. At our farthest, about 152 million kilometers. On average, about 150 million kilometers, or 93 million miles. That number is so vast it almost loses meaning. It's nearly 400 times the distance to the moon. If reaching the moon was monumental, reaching the sun is, with current tech, practically impossible. It's a gap far greater than any we've discussed before. Having journeyed to our moon and measured the vast distance to our sun, We now turn our gaze outward to our first planetary neighbor in the colder, more distant regions of the solar system. This is the planet Mars, often called the Red Planet. For millennia, it has captivated human imagination. Ancient observers saw its distinct, fiery red color in the night sky and associated it with war and conflict, naming it after their gods of battle. It was a wandering star, moving against the fixed backdrop of the constellations in a complex, looping path that puzzled astronomers for centuries. This mysterious motion hinted that it was a world like our own, following its own orbit around the sun. Mars holds a special place in our culture. It has long been the subject of our most vivid science fiction dreams and our most profound scientific questions. It is the most Earth-like planet in our solar system. Polar ice caps that grow and shrink with the seasons. Vast canyons, extinct volcanoes that dwarf any on our own world. We have imagined it as a home for alien civilizations, a dying world with ancient canals built to carry water, or a future home for humanity. This fascination is driven by its tantalizing combination of familiarity and otherness. It is a world that seems just within our reach, a next logical step in our exploration of the cosmos. The reality of Mars, as revealed by our robotic explorers, is both more subtle and more incredible than the fiction. It is a cold, desert world with a thin atmosphere, a place where liquid water cannot last long on the surface today. Yet the evidence is overwhelming that it was once a very different place. Ancient riverbeds, deltas, lake beds on Earth. It tells a story of a distant past when Mars was warmer and wetter, with a thick atmosphere and perhaps even vast oceans. The biggest question of all is whether life ever arose on this ancient, more hospitable Mars, a question that drives our exploration to this day. Before we can answer that question, we must first confront the challenge of getting there. The journey to Mars is a far greater undertaking than the trip to the moon. The distance is not a fixed number, but a constantly changing value, dictated by the intricate dance of two planets orbiting the sun at different speeds. It represents a gulf of space that is orders of magnitude greater than anything we have crossed before. Understanding this distance is the first step in planning the missions, robotic, human, that seek to unlock the secrets of this captivating red world and perhaps find signs of life beyond Earth. We have traveled from the moon to Mars and all the way to the edge of our planetary system, to the distant realm of Neptune. We have traveled from the moon to Mars and all the way to Neptune. The distances have been staggering, growing from days to years of travel time. But now, we must prepare for a leap in scale so immense it makes the entire solar system seem like a tiny, compact neighborhood. We are leaving the familiar shores of our sun's gravitational influence and venturing out into the vast, dark ocean that separates us from the other stars. This is interstellar space, the void between the suns. It is a realm of emptiness so profound that our previous units of measurement, like kilometers and even astronomical units, become utterly inadequate. When you look up at the night sky, you see thousands of twinkling points of light. With the exception of a few planets, every single one of them is a star, a sun just like our own. Some are larger and brighter, others smaller and dimmer. They look like they are all on a single flat dome above us, but they are not. They are scattered through an enormous three-dimensional volume of space at incredible distances from us and from each other. The closest of these stars is so far away that its distance makes the 6 billion kilometer journey of the Voyager spacecraft seem like a short walk down the street. Voyager spacecraft. If our solar system out to the orbit of Neptune were shrunk down to the size of a single coin, like a US quarter, the nearest star would be another coin located about 2 football fields away. In the vast space between those two coins, there would be almost nothing. This is the scale of our galaxy. It is not a crowded place. It is an immense volume of vacuum, sparsely dotted with stars separated by unimaginable gulfs of darkness. This emptiness is the reason why, despite there being billions of stars in our galaxy, space is mostly black. This great leap into the void represents the ultimate barrier to interstellar travel. The journey to Mars takes months, and the journey to Neptune takes over a decade. But a journey to the nearest star, using our fastest current spacecraft technology, would take tens of thousands of years. It is a timescale that dwarfs not just a human lifetime, but all of recorded human history. To even begin to talk about these distances, we need a new ruler, one that is built not on human scales of length, but on the one constant that bridges the cosmic expanse: the speed of light itself. To measure the vast distances between stars, astronomers use a unit called the light year. This term can be a little confusing because it has the word year in it, which we associate with time. But a light year is not a unit of time. It is a unit of distance. It is defined as the distance that light, traveling through the vacuum of space, covers in one single Earth year. Since light is the fastest thing in the universe, the distance it can travel in a year is absolutely colossal. It is a yardstick born from a fundamental constant of nature, perfectly suited for the galactic scale we are now exploring. Let's break down just how enormous this distance is. Light travels at approximately 300,000 kilometers every second. There are 60 seconds in a minute. There are 60 minutes in an hour. There are 24 hours in a day. There are 365 days in a year. When you multiply all of that together, 1 light year equals about 9.5 trillion kilometers. 1 light year is just under 6 trillion miles. This is a number so large it is difficult for our minds to hold on to. 1 light year is roughly 1,000 times the size of our solar system. Our current spacecraft would take an eternity to cross that distance, a true measure of the interstellar void. The light year does more than just measure distance. It also combines distance with time. Look at a star 1 light year away. The light took 1 year to reach us, so we see the star as it was 1 year in the past. Looking out into the galaxy is like looking back in time. The farther away we look, the deeper into the cosmic past we peer. This lets astronomers see the history of the universe unfold. So when we ask, how far away is the nearest star? We also ask, how old is its light? This dual nature changes how we perceive the night sky. It's not a snapshot of now, it's a layered tapestry of history. Each star is a window into a different time. Some stars we see as they were during the time of the Roman Empire. Others are so distant their light left before humans existed. The light year is the key that unlocks this four-dimensional map of our universe. Ultimately, to know these distances is to know our place in the universe. We live on a small, fragile world, a pale blue dot in an unfathomably large cosmos. We are separated from other worlds by voids of space and time that are both a challenge and an inspiration. This knowledge does not make us insignificant, it makes us precious. It fuels our desire to explore, to understand, and to cherish the one home we know. The night sky is no longer a flat canvas, but a deep, three-dimensional map of where we are, where we have been, and where we might one day go.